Have you ever finished an entire day of work, got into your car, started driving home, and then asked yourself, what exactly did I accomplish today? You attended 10 meetings, responded to countless emails, replied messages all day, updated spreadsheets, reviewed reports, answered phone calls, worked from morning till night, and somehow the one thing that actually mattered still didn't get done. Welcome to episode 11 of Does It Make Sense? This is the show where we break down businesses, startup strategy, the psychology of money, operational excellence, and everything in between. And at the end of every episode, we answer the one question every entrepreneur, investor, and decision maker eventually has to ask. Does it make sense? Today's episode is called The Busy Trap. Why do so many people feel exhausted after a long day's work, yet struggle to point to what they have actually achieved? Let's find out. So, some time ago, I won't say exactly when, and don't worry, it's not even on my LinkedIn. I worked somewhere that changed the way I think about productivity. Now, every weekday, my day started around 9 a.m. Not with work, with meetings. So we would have daily stand-up meetings for 4 different products of 30 minutes each. Now, by the time those were over, it was already around 11 a.m. Then, product meetings. Each one lasted about an hour 30 minutes. So 4 different products, that's 6 hours. By the time those ended, it was around 5 p.m. Then I would have marketing meeting for about an hour till 6 p.m. Then management meeting for 2 hours till 8 p.m. So some days I would be seated on my computer from 9 a.m. till 8 p.m. It was a remote role. Now, somewhere in the middle of all of that, I was expected to oversee about 85 different KPIs. I didn't say 5, I said 85. Now, the goal, according to leadership, was to build a world-class organization. And I believe that was the intention of the founder. But after a while, I noticed something. We had become incredibly good at talking about work, tracking work, reporting work, measuring work, planning work, but we had less and less time to actually do the work. And that's when I realized something that has stayed with me ever since. Being busy and being productive are not the same thing. Imagine hiring a carpenter. He arrives at 8 a.m. He sharpens his tools, organizes his toolbox, measures every piece of wood, discusses the blueprint, attends meetings about the blueprint, creates a schedule for cutting the wood, updates everyone on the schedule, and then goes home. Question: was he busy? Absolutely. Did he build anything? Not even one chair. Now imagine another carpenter. He spends less time talking and more time cutting, assembling, and building. At the end of the day, one carpenter has activity, the other has results. Which one would you hire? I think this trap exists because activity is easy to measure. You can count meetings attended, emails sent, hours worked, calls made, reports submitted, KPIs tracked. Those numbers make us feel productive. Progress is much harder to measure. You can't always see it at the end of the day. But here's the thing. Nobody buys a product because the company held excellent meetings. Nobody invests in a startup because it tracked 100 KPIs. Nobody becomes a market leader because its calendar was full. People care about outcomes, not activity. There's a quote often attributed to Peter Drucker that says, "There's nothing quite so useless as doing efficiently what shouldn't be done at all." Think about that. You can become incredibly efficient at wasting your own time. And this isn't just a corporate problem. Entrepreneurs fall into this trap all the time. We convince ourselves we are making progress because we are doing something. Designing the logo, changing the brand colors, tweaking the website for the 15th time, watching another YouTube video, buying another course, reading another book, researching, planning, preparing, waiting until everything is perfect. Meanwhile, the business hasn't launched. The proposal still hasn't been sent. The phone call still hasn't been made. The customer still hasn't been spoken to. At some point, we have to ask ourselves a difficult question. Are we actually working, or are we just avoiding the work that matters most? Because sometimes busyness is just procrastination wearing a fancy suit. One of my favorite analogies is this. A rocking chair gives you plenty of movement. You're going back and forth. But does it take you anywhere? Absolutely not. Or let's consider a treadmill. You can run for 1 hour. You'll sweat, you'll get tired, you'll feel like you've worked out. But unless exercise was your primary goal, you are still exactly where you started. You've made no progress at all. And that's what busyness often looks like. A lot of motion, very little progress. So, does being busy make sense? The answer is no. A resounding no. But being productive makes sense. They are not the same thing. The goal is to actually move the needle, to make actual progress, because motion feels like progress until you realize you are running on a treadmill. People don't remember how busy you were. They remember what you built.